Dr. Yano, our chief guest today, and friends. It's my great pleasure that today is our 9th Convocation Day, and I heartily congratulate all students and wish them a very grand success, a very creative and productive career. Well, friends, Vidya Prasarak Mandal, as you know, is committed to education, and not only education, quality education. Partly we are successful in that because if we have some index to measure quality of education, then two of our colleges, Science College and Arts Commerce College, they are accredited. Our management institute is in pipeline. We are just waiting for the accreditation. Very soon, Polytechnic will go for re-accreditation. They are already accredited, and that's one of the first, if I'm not wrong, the earliest, it may be the accredited Polytechnic in the state of Maharashtra, and not only that, they are also received best Polytechnic college in the state and outside state. We have Advanced Study Center. We have two schools which, if you take the results of the SSC 10th standard, they are 100 to 95 to 100% result. So by all standards, I must say I can very proudly say that as far as city of Thane is concerned, our contribution is definitely we can be proud of. As far as the admissions are concerned, again, though there are some difficulties in the management and some other places, all our institutions of Thane, our admissions are full, and not only full, they are their cutoff points are at a very high level. However, when it comes to quality education, still I would say that we have to cover a lot of distance. I mean, that's because change is permanent. If you remain static, you just don't make any progress. You know that every year there are some new additions in technology. Vidya Prasarak is always anxious and proactive in giving and providing technological assistance to all of our colleges. Apart from that, any other new thing which is happening in the field of education, we are always eager to provide that to all colleges. In turn, that ultimately gets percolated to the students of college. Still, I would say that is that adequate. A lot of time, money and energy has been spent to define what education is, and still you say that what is quality education, that is still debatable point. India has done a great progress during the last 60-65. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. On various fronts, education, all material life, technology. In spite of that, when it comes to education, I will restrict myself to education only. There are a couple of international indices where we lack miserably. About 2 days back, you must have read in the papers that there is an international organization which conducts tests for primary and secondary students in more than 24 countries. And unfortunately, India is at the bottom of the line. All our babus from Delhi, they were very quick, that's their business, to say that because the questions were asked about cushion bags in cars or ATMs, that was the reason, which is not true. Because many of these countries are also poor countries, not developed as India is. In spite of that, they are much higher in mathematics and physics and sciences than India. When it comes to universities, you know that not a single university in the first 100. There are a couple of agencies. There are 5 or 6 international agencies which conduct surveys, and not a single Indian university could get that place in first 10, 50 or 100, maybe 98 or somewhere, some universities there. Maybe one university you can say. When it comes to Olympiads for physics, chemistry, mathematics and many other things, Not many Indians, they get some prizes, but not many prizes, as in the Olympics. So, all these things make you wait and think, are we really delivering quality education? When it comes to competition, then somewhere we are lacking. When it comes to supply, there are radical changes, you know that. Engineering, I know we have started engineering college this year, and you know that there are around 40,000 seats vacant. That's a good thing. For management, there are 20,000 seats vacant. For polytechnic, there are another 40,000 seats vacant. Why I say it a good thing? Because that's going to make the radical change. How the change is going to come? As a management, I know that every college now will have to give a quality education. They just can't remain in the market by opening their shop. In demand and supply, there was a scarcity. And so any college, you just get in, you're happy. Or engineering or medical is still bad. But any other polytechnic, engineering, and many other courses, now the things have changed. Students and parents, they are very choosy. Everything is available in the net. They choose what fees they have to pay, whether the quality education is given or not, what is the faculty of that particular college. That's a good thing. And it should actually, the competition must come in the marketplace. So there is no need, either they will have to shut their shop or they will have to be very competitive. And if they become competitive, there is nobody going to stop. There is always a place at the top. So this demand and supply, having more colleges, one should not grumble. As a matter of fact, all educational students and parents should say that, maintain that. So those who are, government should not bother much for shutting down. If some colleges say yes, there are some colleges asking to close down. That's all right. If they can't run a college, let them close. However, is it going to again make a quality education? To a certain extent, they will have to be competitive. And when there is a competition in the market, for survival, you will have to give the best. Otherwise, you can't survive. Maybe that some part of it may improve. But then other picture of education, why do we need education? If education is to be given to make any individual a better citizen, a more sensitive citizen towards his environment, here I mean all environment, social, cultural, religious, political, then we are exhibiting a miserable and shameful picture. 2 days back I read that one boy kidnapped 15 years his own colleague, and he just killed him. There are how many rapes and murders and this thing coming from educated people? And what about corruption? Now it has become a fashion to always blame anything and everything under the sun to uneducated people. That people are educated, so India is not progressing. People are educated, so political system is not changing. Certainly not. None. At least I know of IS officers, bureaucrats, ministers, parliamentarians, members of assembly, and other people's representatives are all educated. Many of them are double graduates, many of them are lawyers. And in spite of that, they have done the worst corruption in the country. So where the education has gone, they all are educated. They all are educated. So education has not made any qualitative change in their conscience. As a matter of fact, that education has gone into for a wrong purpose. Now, if that's not the purpose of education, to make people more criminal, more insensitive, more numb towards their environment, then what has happened to the education? We are all civilized people again. Just get outside this campus, while inside also. Only we can just say we are an organized mess, chaos. I have been requesting for the last 10 years to my students and teachers that see that because of the road protection and security, you need an I card. There are lots of very well-built students waiting there as if they are doing a great thing, that not wearing your I-card is their birthright. What kind of education we have been able to do? Do you want us to make it compulsory and send police there to hunt behind them, whether they wear I-card or not? I was coming down, both fans were working, nobody was there, lights were on. It is the case in every college, I know that. Sorry to say that. But we are insensitive, we just don't bother, we don't care what is happening. Why? Has our education not given us any inputs that we have to be sensitive to do these things? I'm sure you can get my point, friends. I can only talk about Vidya Prasarak. It's my humble request to all of you. You have some value addition to you. You already were graduates, and then some value addition to your original knowledge. Now I want you to be representative. You must have a stamp of Vidya Prasarak on you. What is that stamp? Yes, your degrees or whatever it is. You will have to be sensitive to the things what I am trying to tell you. You will have to be kind, gentle and good to people, to neighbors, to environment, wherever you work, whichever office you work. And if that's not going to happen, many number of years, whatever we are going to do, is not going to make any change. That's not good. It's waste of energy, time and money. So sometimes it wonders, I think, why should we do it at all? Without doing that, anything is going to happen. Why not? There are hundreds of colleges. What's the difference there? But we are optimistic, we are not getting tired or frustrated, in spite of seeing people not wearing cards, in spite of insisting for the last 10 years. Still we are optimistic and we feel that still we have to go and convince people to keep on doing that. And we will keep on doing that. We have capacity like to do. But that's as far as we are concerned. What about you? What about the people? What about the society? What about the students? What about the teachers? What about their role to play? I feel that change has to come. And if education, I'm talking about quality education, doesn't mean that how many computers we have, doesn't mean what kind of buildings we have, doesn't mean what other technological features we have. Yes, they are required as infrastructure, as inputs. But that's really not what defines the quality education. Quality education, the final product, that's student, that's a citizen of our country. How have we shaped it? How responsible is he? Again, I am telling you how sensitive he is to his environment, social conditions, his religion and his cultural understandings. With this cultural understanding, I will say a few words and then stop. Look at our festivals we are celebrating. Utter disgraceful, nonsensical, idiotic. I don't find any other more words in the dictionary to describe it. Yesterday, a couple of days back, I read in papers that in Pune, all mandals they have come together and they want to drum all throughout the night. What kind of people we are? Celebrations are meant for celebrations. These are religious festivals. They bring people together. They give pleasure. For vulgar dances in the road and for immersion, if our people are going to ask that whole night, and our politicians are so kind, they are not ready to give non-salary grant to colleges. They don't have money, they don't have many other things to give to schools and colleges, but they are so kind. Immediately this government said, oh, we grant that. They are very sensitive to people's feelings. Utter nonsense. That's politics. That's a vote bank politics. Are we not going to change that? Is this our culture? Is this our religion? Is this our way to celebrate our festivals? That the police, we expect from police, I don't think police can do anything. Police cannot do anything. For noise pollution, we have been trying, struggling. We always expect from police. Police cannot. If the whole mass, all society is unruly. I want to shout, no police can control that. No courts can control that. That's the education. Wherever you are, whichever party you are, doesn't matter. What does it matter which party you belong to? Please join politics, go to any party you want, but go and insist there to your leaders that this nonsense, I am not going to, I am a member of your party and I don't want this to happen. If that's not going to happen, utter failure of education, because education gives you courage, that's what we hear. Well, that courage is for wrong things, not wearing eye cards, doing many other wrong things in the society, wrong parking, whatnot. There all we are very courageous. And be courageous and tell your political leaders, well, you can't do that. Have that courage. If you are educated, if you have some inputs from Vidya Prasarak Mandal, even if one of you, two of you, 10 of you do that, enough. Change starts not from the large, big gatherings. It always starts from very small gathering. Or one individual or two individuals, they may change. Well, friends, with these few remarks, I welcome you all. I wish you a grand success in your career. I also welcome Professor Yano and then take you. Thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Vidya Bedekar, Chairman of VPM, and distinguished participants of this ceremony, and also awarded those students who are awarded degrees. I am very much honored to be here as the chief guest of the important ceremony of convocation, where certificates of the degrees is awarded on the occasion of this India's Teachers' Day. I congratulate all the students who are successfully awarded degrees in the respective fields of science. When I first learned the name of Vidya Prasarak Mandal for the first time, it was about 3 years ago, I could guess the meaning because I know Sanskrit. Vidya is one of the most significant words in Sanskrit. It is derived from the verb vid, to know. It is also from this verb that the word Veda itself was derived. Also, we have such words as Vidya, doctor in general, or medical doctor in particular, Vidya. The negation, negative form of the word Vidya is avidya. Avidya is opposite, negation of Vidya, that is ignorance, which is one of the important keywords of Buddhism. As a son of Buddhist priest, I was familiar with Chinese translation of avidya as mumyo. Mu means myo means vidya. So ignorance is the fundamental place of my transmigration, everything worldly appears. Ignorance is the origin of all the ills and sufferings, ultimately leading to death on the 12 elements. The last one is death. Now, okay, I go. I skip. Okay. Vidya is, okay, in Buddhist 12 elements of starting from avidya, we attain final death, and only through vidya we can attain the true happiness, which is ultimately to swaga or moksha or nirvana. Vidya is not mere knowledge to be memorized, but it also means creative knowledge. I think creative knowledge. As a historian of Indian astronomy, and mathematics. I know many gifted scholars. For example, Aryabhata is one of such genius. Aryabhata, you know. My life as scholar owes very much to him, Aryabhata. I decided to devote my life to the study of Indian astronomy and mathematics when I read his book, Aryabhatiya, in English translation. It was when I was only 9 years old. This was decided my life. As you might know, Aryabhata maintains the revolutionary idea of the rotation of the Earth on its axis at a time when people believed in the old Puranic cosmology of the fixed Earth with Mount Meru in the center, in its center. Also, I learned much from Brahma. Sometimes it is said that zero was sometimes. Okay, I must go to the next page. I read this very convenient. I did it. Okay. Sometimes it is said zero was discovered in the Vedic time India, but it is not true. In the mathematical sense of the word, it was thanks to Brahmagupta that zero became a number that can be treated. That can be treated as number in the same way as a 9 numerals. So what Brahmagupta said is that we can use zero as other numbers. Just we can use zero in addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. He says if you multiply by zero some words, the sum words will be zero. 8 multiplied by 0 is 0. Like that, he defined 0 as number, not mere symbol. As a symbol, 0 was already known earlier than in India, in Babylonia, but what is important is that 0 was mathematically defined. Let me tell you a little more from my recent study of Madhava, who is 14th century scholar in Kerala. His discovery of expansion series of pi and sine of trigonometry was 200 years ahead of time of Newton and Leibniz. He was followed by Nilakanta in 16th century in Kerala. The great mathematician Ramanujan belongs to the same line of great mathematicians in South India. All these great scientists in India searched the true Vidya without blindly following the traditional idea. I hope you are also newly awarded scholars. You are also one of these scientists who follow the true knowledge, Vidya, that is Vidya, after obtaining this honorable degree from Vidya Prasarak, Mandal. Thank you.